Croc, Legend of the Gobbos for the Sega Saturn. Is it worth playing in 2021 or is it a total crock of shit? Let's go! Croc was developed by Argonaut Games, the same company responsible for developing Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. Croc was initially pitched to Nintendo as a 3D Yoshi game for the N64. The house that Mario built rejected the game, maybe because they could smell a hot turd sandwich in the making. This effectively ended the relationship between Argonaut Games and Nintendo. Nintendo went on to release a little ditty by the name of Super Mario 64 in 1996, which revolutionized the genre of 3D platformers. This left Argonaut Games with the job of retooling their little green bastard into a new original property. Croc went on to be released in 1997 for the PS1, PC, and Sega Saturn. Our story begins in Narnia or Gobbosville, some Dick Twizzle shit island. We come to find out that Croc was abandoned by his meth addict mother. The Gobbokians and King Kanye Gobbos decide to take in young Croc and raise him as their own. To King Kanye Gobbos' surprise, Croc grows 3 sizes that day, likely a result of his mother's heavy drug use. The evil Baron Dante Weinstein, who is upset he never gets to play in Gobbos games, abducts the mighty King Kanye Gobbos. Our Gobbos friends manage to flee and escape down the rabbit hole. Now it's up to our hero to stop the evil Baron and rescue King Kanye Gobbos. Croc has a hub world type system, a la Super Mario World. You'll explore platform levels like grass, volcano, forest, ice, and underwater. As Croc, you will traverse the 3D world while collecting crystals, saving captured Gobbos, all while tail whipping and butt stomping your enemies. Croc has over 40 plus levels of 3D platforming goodness. In addition to butt stomping and tail whipping, Croc can also run, jump, climb, swing, swim, sidestep, and do a 180-degree quick turnaround. Croc can be controlled with the standard D-pad, but I found it much easier to use the analog control stick on the 3D control pad. Throughout each level, you need to find and collect 6 Gobbos to unlock a secret level. Each secret level contains a hidden jigsaw. You need to collect all 4 jigsaws to unlock the final island. Being that Croc is an early 3D platforming game, it has some pretty impressive graphics for the time. The graphics are colorful and bright and impressive for a game of the 5th generation, but like my grandmother, it's hard to say they aged well. Croc actually received some decent reviews at the time of release. It was mostly praised for its graphics and the fact that it was visually similar to the PS1 version. Now let us talk about the game's problems, and there are many of them that make it a very hard sell in 2021. First of all, Croc uses the dreaded tank controls, which was common for early 3D games at the time, and it's a pain in the ass. Unlike Super Mario 64, you have pretty much zero control over the camera system, so you're forced to work with the very limited controls and the use of sidestepping and 180-degree quick turnaround to control your little hero, which by today's standard is pretty archaic and can make the game frustrating to play for extended periods of time. Be prepared to die plenty of times jumping from platform to platform because you can't control your little green bastard. The hit detection is also piss fucking poor, and the boss fights are a headache. You collect crystals for your health system like rings in Sonic the Hedgehog. If you die at a boss level, you start over with no goddamn crystals. Even with all of these negatives, for any Saturn collector, there really aren't many 3D platformers available for the console. Well, unless you include some of Saturn's greatest hits such as Croc 2 is teased on the inside of the Saturn manual for a Christmas 1998 release, but as we all know, the Saturn was pretty much dead at this point. Croc 2 went on to become a PS1 exclusive, with a Dreamcast port also planned but cancelled. Croc went on to become one of Argonaut's most successful games, selling over 3 million copies on the Sony PlayStation. If you do decide to pick up this game and add it to your collection, you need to be aware that it has a major glitch, and it's fucked. As you can see from the gameplay, it reminds me of a bad acid trip from the late 90s. What's even crazier is I seem to be better at the game when I can't see a goddamn thing that's happening. This glitch only seems to happen if I have a Pseudo Saturn or Action Replay Plus in the cartridge slot. If you start the game with no cartridge, it should work fine. For some crazy reason this doesn't fix the problem, turn your Saturn on with no disc in the disc drive, then once the console has booted up, put the Croc disc in the drive and it should work fine. Just look at this guy, he's eyeballs only.